The top reasons not to live off grid. Hey there, this is Matthew with Discount Lots. I'm one of the account executives here, and today I'm going to talk to you about some of the reasons you do not want to live off grid. I know there's a lot of people out there that are considering it, so I thought that this might be a helpful video to explain why it might not be right for you. If you're not familiar with Discount Lots, we aim to help and assist making the land buying experience easy and affordable for everybody. We own all the properties that we sell. There's no credit check, background check, or any income check when it comes to buying land with us. There are some things that you might not be aware of if you are considering to live off grid. So number one, you want to be physically fit. No, I'm not saying you got to be a world-class athlete. What I'm saying is, can you be out on your own, lift things heavy, walk for long hours? Are you capable of doing long and hard physical labor? The reason why you want to be physically fit is because you got to protect yourself from wildlife and any natural calamities. Another reason is that when you're building your off-grid home, there's not going to really be many people that are willing to help you build that piece of property. So if you're building a house, don't think that there's a lot of contractors that are going to go out there and help out. If you're doing a mobile home or anything like that, you're going to have to do a lot of the things on your own that you would normally be able to pay others to do for you. And then probably the last and most basic reason why you need to be physically fit if you're going to live off grid is because if you're going to source your own food, you're going to have to be physically fit. It might not be something that you're used to. If you're going to, get water from a river or anything, again, you're gonna have to be physically fit. It's not something that you're used to. And then the other thing is, if you're cutting up wood to build a home for fire or whatever it is, you need to be physically fit to do these things, especially on a daily basis. Number two, are you uncomfortable with living in nature? While some of you might enjoy living off-grid or one with nature for a couple days, you might not actually know how difficult it might be to do on a full-time basis. There's a lot of people out there that start doing the off-grid living, and after a couple weeks and months, they start to realize that that's not for them, and it's not because of some of the other reasons that I'm going to give you. It's really because of the nature aspect of it. It's not something that they're comfortable with full time. They didn't know how difficult it was going to be. Living with nature means that you're going to be surrounded by other animals. It means that there's not going to be many people around. It means that you are going to have to watch yourself more often and rely on just yourself rather than the police or neighbors or any street lights or anything like that. You're going to be on your own, and it can be very difficult. The third reason why you might not be able to live off grid is because of your job. If you have a job that requires you to physically be at an office, then obviously this isn't going to be for you. If you don't have a job, then you probably want to find a job before you start living off grid. There's a lot of jobs out there. We have a couple of videos on it, on ways you can make money while living off grid, but in the purpose of this video, I'm not going to go too far into that. If you want to know about ways to make money off grid, find the link in the description below. So sure, you can live off grid without a lot of money, and sure, you can do it for a little bit of time, but you want to make sure you have your finances in order before you start doing the off-grid living. There are a couple people out there that have jobs that only require them to go physically to an office or anything like that once or twice a week. And while that might sound pretty easy, if you're commuting to your job and it's an hour and a half, 2-hour drive there, and then another hour and a half, 2 hours back, it can actually take a toll on you, and it's going to be one of those things you start to dread every single day or before you have to go there. You might be sitting at home and you're like, oh my god, in 2-3 days I gotta go to work, and it just makes it really difficult for you. So make sure you have a job lined up before then if you don't, and this might be one of those reasons why you shouldn't live off grid. Number four, it's going to be your health condition. If you have a serious health condition, living off grid is probably a no-go for you. For example, if you have a heart condition and you're living off grid and the closest hospital is an hour and a half, 2 hours away, that is a serious red flag for you and your well-being. If you're somebody that might require a hospital to be close by, then off-grid living is definitely not for you because of the commute might just be too long for your safety. That doesn't mean that you can't live off-grid if you have some sort of medical condition. It just means that you have to be prepared for an emergency. So if you are living off-grid, make sure that somebody close by does have medical experience that can help treat some of these things that you have, or make sure that the person you're living with off-grid can help you with these things. See if whatever doctor you can get help with, can prescribe some of these emergency things for you while you're living off grid, so you don't have to commute in and out. But again, if you have a serious condition, then living off grid will probably not be for you. And then number 5 on this list is going to be the mental aspect of living off grid. You really want to make sure that you are mentally prepared for living off grid. When you're living off grid, you are on your own. There is nobody out there to talk to. There's going to be nobody out there to, spend time with. It can be very lonely. A lot of people believe that once they live off grid, they can just invite their family over and their family is going to come and visit them all throughout the year, and they're not going to be alone very often. I'm here to tell you that's probably not going to be the case. If you live off grid, it doesn't mean that your family's going to want to live that lifestyle, even if it's just for a vacation. Personally, for me, if I'm going on a vacation, I would like a nice 5-star hotel on the beach, drinks included, food included, something that I don't have to work too hard at. But again, there are some people that like that, but it doesn't mean that your family's gonna wanna visit you often. So you might be alone more times than not. And if you do have somebody that's with you, it means you're gonna be stuck with this person 24/7. Some people don't even realize how much they need to talk to other human beings. There's a thing that happens when you are at home and you talk to your loved one, and then you go to work and you talk to another person that you don't have any obligations to. It creates this mental, piece of happiness for you that you might not even be aware of. So before you move off grid, make sure you are aware of the mental aspect and you're mentally fit and capable of living off grid. If you're somebody that has, some episodes and stuff like that, who has anxiety, who has any sort of thing like that, you probably shouldn't be living off grid. You're probably going to be better off if you're living, in a city with other people. So those are going to be my top 5 reasons for not living off grid. If you have some other recommendations, leave it in the comments below. If you have some questions, leave it in the comments below. If you liked what you saw, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the page. Click on that bell notification because we have a lot more videos like this one coming up throughout the coming weeks. Again, if you don't know who Discount Lots is, make sure you find us at discountlots.com. We help you find land, making it easy and affordable. We have properties all over the place, over 12 different states, over 50 different counties. The prices vary depending on the properties, but it's super simple. No credit check, background check, income check. If you have $301, you want to live off grid, come and find us because you can start buying land with just $301. That's it for today's video. Once again, my name is Matthew. I'm with Discount Lots. I'll catch you on the next one, everybody.